Well, we are seeing a lot of tire treads on the freeways and roadways. Maybe you've seen them driving around, especially on our freeways, when you're trying to kind of like avoid them and you don't want to run over them. It's, it's extreme heat.
Yeah, no, the heat is hard on batteries, it's hard on windshield wiper blades, it's hard on all that rubber out there and plastic, right? So Desiree, I'm impressed, Des, we've got you on this story. I don't have you as like a real mechanic type, but I can tell you know your stuff.
Yeah, you do.
Wait a minute. What? Are you saying I can't get my hands dirty?
Mister.
Wait a minute. I'm offended.
You know what you're doing out there.
Well, it's surprised.
No, I'm kidding. No, actually, I do know how to change a tire, actually. My dad has taught me, so he's very hands-on, does everything around the house. So, yeah, I actually know how to change a tire. But we're going to leave it to the professionals because I am not a professional, of course. Howard Fleischmann, you're here with Community Tire. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Can you walk us through what we need to do in order to keep our tires healthy, especially as we see these temperatures really increase?
Yeah, so our natural enemy here is, of course, heat, right? Not that we have any heat here in Arizona at 117 degrees, but that's our natural enemy. So tires, it all comes down to tire pressure. So low tire pressure is an enemy, and over pressure is an enemy as well. Low pressure is what we see the most. So if you're low on tire pressure, it's not going to be able to sustain being cool, and that's going to cause the tire to heat up and then fail, okay? The other thing that we're seeing right now is overinflation. So we have a lot of people that are going up north with their trailers, they're overloading the trailers, and they're putting the tire at max pressure. In this temperature, you're going to gain about 5 to 7 pounds of pressure, which is going to overload that tire, and that'll also cause the tire to fail as well. So under pressure, over pressure, both are an enemy, and that will cause your tire to fail prematurely.
Okay, so that's why we're seeing a lot of these blowouts and then obviously leftover tire on the roadways.
Exactly, and the other reason we're seeing it, of course, is this example right here.
Yeah, talk about the tread. I mean,
or their lack of, right?
Lack of, like non-existent here.
Yeah, so this is obviously probably the worst case I've ever seen as far as scenario. But not having tread, it doesn't allow the tire to sustain the heat. So having plenty of tread is a big deal as well. So you can see that this tire has what's called a tread wear indicator. That comes from the factory or the manufacturer to let you know as a consumer, when you get down to that point, it's time to replace that tire, okay? So having plenty of tread is going to help you sustain that heat as well. So tire pressure and tread depth are a big deal. Not a lot of us have a tread depth indicator at home, so it's best to come by a tire shop, have them look at it, have them look at the tread, have them look at the pressures, make sure everything is set properly for you.
Okay, and when we talk about tire pressure, so that can be a little tricky to get a perfect amount of air in your tire. So tell us, where do we check to see exactly how much tire pressure we should have in our tire and what the best way of going about filling our tires is?
Great question. So on vehicles, our passenger cars, light trucks, inside the door jamb on the driver's door, there's going to be a placard, and it's going to tell you exactly what to set the tires at. So don't go off what the tire says, go off of what that says, okay? And that's what you want to keep your tire pressure set at. Trailers, again, we're seeing so many failures because of so many people going up north to get out of the heat. That's a little bit different. You really want to keep the tread depth, the pressure about 5 to 7 pounds less than what the tire says.
Okay, just slightly under.
Yeah, because again, you're going to gain that heat traveling with the ambient temperatures that we have right now. We don't want to overload that tire. That'll cause a failure as well. So, but when it comes to our regular vehicles, go off of that door placard, not what the tire says.
Okay, I'm from Buffalo originally, and we had the problem of having less tire pressure when we woke up in the morning because it's so cold. But tell us, like, if, for example, what happened to this tire over here? It's pretty mangled.
Yeah, so in this case, this is exactly what happened. We had low tire pressure. The tire got so hot that eventually it came apart. This is exactly what we see on the side of the road. We see those long strip of tires on the side of the road. This is exactly what happens right now.
We don't want to run over those on the road either, right?
No,
we want to avoid it if we
can. To your vehicle, absolutely.
So if we don't know how to change our own tire, don't know how to fill the air pressure, what do we do?
Well, the best thing to do is come by any tire shop, any one of us. We're the professionals. We'll look at the tire, and we'll be able to tell you where you stand as far as tread depth. We'll make sure your tread pressures are right where they need to be. And we can also check your tools to make sure that you've got a jack, the right wrenches, and all that, so you can be ready for your trip.
Good, great. Howard's got us covered. All right, guys, that's everything you need to know. We'll send it back to you.
That's good to know. He brought up an interesting point. Double check and make sure you have the jack, your spare, all those other things, because, if you're stuck on the side of the road, what are you going to do if you don't have them?
You're missing one of those tools.
That's no bueno.
You're still stuck.